What if one decision can change your entire Masonic journey? And what if that change altered the course of your personal life? Today, I'll recount the story of my abrupt exit from Masonry and the incredible twist that followed. And the reason just might shock you. It all stemmed from an incident with one brother. Are you ready? Let's go. Right Worshipful John Cora, past Grand Chaplain of the Grand Lodge of the State of New Jersey here. Last we left off, I was raised to the sublime degree of Master Mason and successfully tested out. Which meant that I earned all of the rights and privileges. I could attend meetings, visit other lodges, participate, vote, listen to bills, communications, and yada, yada, yada.
Stupid, boring meeting.
Anyway, I started to get a glimpse into the lodge, learn its little intricacies, and start to get to know the brethren a little bit better. Remember those 50 brothers that congratulated me at my EA degree? Well, half of them didn't show up to regular meetings, it seemed. A few weeks in, and another brother was going through his exams. I guess he had gone through his degrees on different dates, but I wasn't made aware of it. You see, I hadn't received any communications or trestle boards from the lodge. A Masonic trestle board is essentially a planning tool used by Freemasons, much like a blueprint is for construction. In the past, it was a physical board to which the master builder would draw his designs upon for the construction of the building. Today, the concept is more symbolic for Masonic lodges. In today's context, a Masonic trestle board serves a few key purposes. Typically, it outlines a schedule of Masonic meetings, events, and other important information. Inside a tip? Never bash another brother's ritual. We all learn at our own pace. That being said, he was barely able to put 2 words together through his exam.
You could do so. You want him to do.
For him to get through it, the proctor literally fed him every fucking word. On all 3 exams. Afterwards, the Worshipful Master congratulated him on his stellar performance and presented him with a Rookie of the Year award.
This trophy's for you!
Yeah, I was butthurt. I worked my ass off for something I thought was so important and precious, and in the end, it didn't seem to fucking matter. I didn't feel like a brother. I didn't feel like I was a part of something bigger than me. I felt alone. So, I didn't bother going to the next meeting, or the next, or the next. My job got busier, and I got home later each day. I started to climb the seniority list as well as drivers either quit or died. Yeah, a fellow driver and my shop steward. One day, my wife decided to ask, how come I haven't gone back to lodge? I tried giving her the busy life excuse, and she called me out on it. So I told her what happened and how it pissed me off. She told me not to let one bad apple spoil the bunch. Go back and see what happens. And that's it. That's all it took. It might seem anticlimactic, but I assure you, that push to return changed my life.
1 year later.
So I returned to the lodge the first meeting of April the following year and was greeted by smiles and handshakes.
Welcome back.
I sat down to dinner with my former mentor, Jimmy, and next thing you know, 2 other brothers sit down. One of them was Bobby, the other was Todd. It wasn't long before Todd would become my best friend. He's a big part of both my Masonic and personal life. He's going to pop up from time to time in these videos. The Worshipful Master welcomed me as well with a firm handshake and a smile and asked if I would sit in one of the officers' chairs that evening. Junior steward, but what did I know? I was afraid something was going to happen like the second half of the Master Mason degree. Before I could say no, he assured me that there were no speaking parts. Just pay attention to the raps of the gavel. Disclaimer, this is safe for public consumption as in the state of New Jersey we have open installation of officers. 3 raps of the gavel raises the lodges, 2 raises only the officers, and 1 seats the entire lodge. The meeting was okay, more of the same, communications, bills, minutes, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. The meeting ends, we go downstairs, and Brother Todd opens up the beer fridge and calls out,
Bueller?
Apparently, that's code asking if you want a beer. As the night went on, we talked more and more, and I finally explained to him why I disappeared, and he said, that's it? What kind of bullshit excuse is that? So I reiterated how I felt when I worked as hard as I could on the exams, and he shut me up one more time. Yeah, he's pretty good at that. And he said that's just how the Worshipful Master was. He had a feeling that the brother wasn't going to return. He didn't. And tried to offer him something that might entice him to come back. So stop your nonsense and just get your ass back into the lodge. And I did. And that's all it took, was just one brother to let me know that he gave a shit.
You do care!
I continued to show up to meetings and sat in open officers' chairs. No speaking parts, of course. But I paid attention to the openings and closings. I think I forgot to mention that after I passed my Master Mason exam, I got a ritual book from the secretary and a brief explanation. During meetings, I would read along with the ritual, and then I thought, oh shit, I'm starting to get this. June rolls around and they held their annual Hawaiian night, which is typically the last meeting of the month before we go dark, where the dress code is, and I'm sure you guessed it, Hawaiian shirts. It was a beautiful early summer evening. The barbecues are fired up, music was playing, brethren were having conversations and laughing with each other, and then the senior warden, Brother John, came up to me and said, hey, big guy, could I talk to you for a second? So I said, sure, what's up? He explained that he was going to be elected as the Worshipful Master in December and that he has positions open for his appointments. In the lodge, there are elected positions. The Worshipful Master, Senior and Junior Wardens, Treasurer, Secretary, and Trustee for 3 years. And an appointed position is exactly that. They are appointed by the incoming Worshipful Master. And then he asked if I would be his chaplain. And I said, of course, I could memorize the opening and closing prayers by December. That should be easy. He said, it's okay if you don't memorize them, big guy. The chaplain is the only one that could read out of the book. Technically, no, but I guess he took a page out of the previous Worshipful Master and decided to give something a little bit more enticing to me. He shook my hand, thanked me, and strolled off for another burger. Just then, another brother approached me from behind and said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And then he said, don't let these guys stick you into a chair. You don't know enough, and you can't trust them. And then he disappeared. Apparently, Brother Todd must have heard the conversation and came up behind me and said, what did that guy say, not to trust us? Who the hell does he think he is? Next thing you know, the Worshipful Master summons us and we go inside to go to the meeting. Fast forward, the meeting ends, the junior warden leaves, we go back outside and resume the conversation, to which I was assured by the lot of them that he was the guy not to trust. That as he advanced through the chairs, he did less and less work, refused to learn any of the lectures or ritual, and just expected to be elected Worshipful Master. One requirement in this jurisdiction is to prove proficiency in ritual. The senior deacon, the middle chamber lecture, the junior warden, the entered apprentice degree from the east, the senior warden, the fellowcraft degree, all of which this brother refused to do. Conversation ends, we have a few more beers, and I ask a question that suddenly stopped everybody in their tracks. I asked, what's a right worshipful?
Who the hell is this bitch?
Not only was that their reaction, but they started saying if I ever decide to advance through the chairs and become Worshipful Master, that I wouldn't have an installation. It would be a coronation.
It's Coronation Day!
Remember in the last video I said I'd explain what the hell a right worshipful is? Well, here we go. In the context of Freemasonry, a right worshipful is an honorific title used to address or refer to certain officers within a Masonic Grand Lodge. The title of right worshipful is a mark of respect, recognizing the significant contributions and responsibilities of these high-ranking officers. Those addressed as right worshipful hold ceremonial leadership roles within the Grand Lodge. And to be appointed a right worshipful, you must be a Worshipful Master first. Holy shit, that was a lot. But in the end, it was a valid question. I genuinely did not know what a right worshipful was, let alone any other positions or responsibilities. July was upon us, and we continued during the summer to meet on Monday nights for fellowship and practice. During this time, we all bonded and got even closer, except for the incoming senior warden.
Oh my God!
Want to know what happens next? Check out the next video and find out. Peace, brothers.